Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Joanna, or Joe, or Kittenish Things. Welcome to my first ever studio vlog. Honestly, I love watching studio vlogs, so this feels very cathartic to make my own. Today, we are building my OG cherry earrings, my one-of-a-kind first product of this business, of this brand. She's been a process. We are going to try out a new stem situation because she's still undergoing evolution. She has not fully metamorphosized. Is that the correct word? She's not fully undergone her evolution. She is in second stage evolution. She has not reached her third stage just yet. But she's close. She's close. These earrings were my first idea. My first idea, once I knew I wanted to start this business, was to create these earrings. I received these cherry earrings from my fiance's mom as a gift. I want to say probably a year ago. And I would wear them at work all the time, and they were just a hit. And honestly, I love them. They're fun, they're cute, they're flirty. They add a little pop of red to my outfit because I wear like this chef's coat as a server. Our outfit's pretty plain, So it adds just like a nice little pop, and people always love them. People always complimented them. Who doesn't love a cute little cherry earring? So that was like my first instinct to go at, and it's been a process. It's been a fun process, though. It's been a very fun process going from start to finish because initially I started with just looking at patterns for cherries, right? First things first, how do I make cherries? So, of course, I went to YouTube University and I looked up a couple different cherry patterns and I pulled them up. I tried 3 different kinds just to see what I was working with. They were all something. They were all a good start. They were somewhere to begin with. Let me show you the process. Okay. This is cherry number 1 that I tried. It was a cute little flat version. I was like, oh, this might be kind of cute, right? Wasn't really in love with it. I was like, meh. So then I tried a more 3D version. This was the second pattern I tried. I was like, okay, it's not bad. I'm not a fan of the leaf, but I do think I prefer the 3D version more. And then I finally, oh, this light's so bright. Right in my face. Okay, I didn't take it with me. Thought I took the tech with me. This was the third pattern I tried, and I was like, potential. I saw it and I was like, okay, potential. Because keep in mind, this is regular. I don't know what weight yarn this is. I'm very new to this stuff, but I call this regular yarn. Please bash on me in the comments. And so, I had to imagine I was going to micro crochet it. So there were definitely tweaks I wanted to do to the pattern, but this was kind of like where it started from. And I was like, okay, I can work with that. So I'm just pulling things from my bucket here of my old projects and such. It's actually in a popcorn bucket. So here's the first iteration micro crocheted, and I did do a couple little tweaks, but it's cute. I thought, ooh, this could actually be a really cute, like, big statement piece, which still possible, still a thought. I'm still considering doing a bigger version. And then I tried to go even smaller. I made some more iterations to the leaves and the balls, and it's coming together, but I didn't like the proportions, still wasn't working out. And this was the closest to the most recent one I have, I think. And it looks like this. And I was like, okay, we're cooking, guys. I was like, yeah, we're getting there. And that's where the evolution is. That is where she's at currently. And today we're going to give her one final cleanup, one last metamorphosis into the beautiful butterfly cherry earrings that she is meant to be. And then I think I'm going to be ready to produce these. And I'm going to bust them out. I have a couple base berries made so far. This isn't all of them, but I have them on these little hanger pins hanging up right now. So I have a couple. This is a little dangle of balls that I have right now. That's for one set of earrings. And I have a couple I'm working on over here as well. My main thing that I am figuring out is I initially had the earrings look like this. But one thing that I really did not like about them were the stems. There's just something about the stems that just weren't stemming for me, and I wanted them to look cleaner and just better. And I wasn't feeling these. Initially, for the first edition, I think it was cute, but I feel like I could do better. So I scrapped the crochet stem, and I have decided to use a floral wire. This stuff, just some 26 gauge floral wire, and I'm cutting it into little pieces to hang into, I don't know if you can actually see that, it's pretty small, hang into the crocheted leaves and crocheted cherries. So this will act as the stems, and essentially what I'm going to do is wrap the thread around it to create a very clean, thin stem that I think would look really nice with the cherries. So I'm hoping that that will work out because I actually haven't tried doing it yet. And my DIY craft process right now is I'm cutting these little guys, right? Just these little guys. And I'm going to try it out on this first pair actually, because I have a crocheted leaf that I've been playing around with. This is just the little leaf I crocheted and the little thread ends. Essentially, I'm going to have the wire stem. I tucked it just a little bit. You can barely see it here, but I tucked the stem in between one of the little spots in this leaf. And I am going to wrap the leftover thread around it. And to keep it in place, I'm going to apply a very thin amount of glue. This is my East 6000 glue, which is strong stuff, which I think will really hold it. But my concern is, how do I apply the glue thin enough onto this wire so that the glue doesn't splooge on the sides when I'm wrapping it? What I was thinking about doing was using a brush, and because the tube is pretty big, and I don't know if you guys have ever used those tubes before, but once you start squeezing them, they sometimes just don't stop squeezing. Like, just the littlest amount of pressure will just cause it to just explode. Not literally, but it's really hard you can't put it back in once it's out. So I'm thinking about putting the glue down on like a piece of paper or something, and then just picking up a little bit on the brush and then brushing it on. And then I'm going to wrap the thread mostly down almost to the bottom. And then towards the bottom where I will curve the wire, I'm going to figure out how I want to attach the cherries to the stems. So let's see how that goes. Because if this ends up really flopping, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, or I might just try to crochet a new type of stem. But so far, I don't know if I could, I don't know. I haven't seen anything that has caught my eye in terms of what I would do instead. So I'm going to hope that this works, and we're just going to find out. My plan is to do between 10 and 20 earrings and just go from there. I am very excited to get this final version going, because then I'll feel really ready to start getting all the little details going. Because that's another part that I have to work through is, getting my business license, getting my seller's permit in California, setting up my online shop storefront, and then also working on like packaging and how I want to ship them and labeling and stickers and all of that. So today, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. We cannot rush things. We cannot get crazy. We cannot get so crazy so early because then I'll get overwhelmed. And if I'm not having fun, no one's having fun. I have to say, I am pretty happy with the way they turned out. This is only number one. Now, technique wise, needs some work. Technique needs some work because I can still see bits of the glue, especially around the stem area. I think I have to clean that up a little bit. But overall, the shape of this is perfect. This is literally what I was hoping for in the very beginning. And you just can't get that clean of a stem with any crochet stitch. Like, it's just impossible. Unless I was going like in a bigger scale, but because it's so small, it just wasn't, nothing was really gonna make it work this way. So I am so happy with the way they turned out. They are so flippin' cute. Wow. I'm also just so amazed with how they turned out. I'm really happy that I decided to try this way because I had just some extra floral wire in my house from an old craft project, and I just thought, what if we tried this and see how it works? We'll have to adjust sort of how I'll have we, as if you're making this with me. I mean, I guess you are for moral support, but I'm going to have to figure out how to streamline the process a little bit better and to keep it cleaner as well. Because yeah, there's some extra glue sort of around the stems that I could work without. I want it to be like nice and clean. Overall, I think it looks really good and I'm very, very excited to do the next couple ones. I'm hoping that I can my ideal time frame for how long it'll take me to do a pair of earrings is 2 hours. That would be ideal for me. just so I can compensate my time well enough and also not make the price too high, because obviously, you know, I don't want to I don't want to lowball myself because this is something that I want to do for a living, but I also feel like there has to be some give, you know? I mean, it's not like I'm charging billionaire pricing right now. Okay, I ain't no billionaire. And I know most of y'all who will buy these things aren't either. Being a business owner, I think, also pulls a little bit on sort of my ethics and my morals, right? Because I don't want to, not that I could not that I could see my shop turning me into billionaire, because that's obviously not how billionaires make their money, but I don't want to also short sell myself, because then that keeps me not earning enough to compensate how much time and effort I put into making things and creating the business. And there's a lot of little things that go into this that I feel like maybe people who don't sell their own products or don't have a business don't necessarily realize. Overall, it's been really an exciting experience learning all the different nuances and of owning a business and creating a business from scratch. Even doing like social media and content creation, which was a lot hard. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but not in a bad way. It's hard in some aspects, but it's also still fun. Same with just the whole business thing. Like, it's not as fun to make the same thing over and over again, but at the same time, it feels really cool to see my hard work pay off and just see my final product come to life and to finally see it in its final form. This is final form right now, and I'm very excited to see it with like my earring backs that I'm ordering. Well, I'm just ordering honestly simple earring backs, and I'm probably going to go with like a customized business stamp to put on them. And I still have to figure out packaging and stuff, but I have a general idea. I have a couple things saved right now for what I'm thinking about doing. And since it is such a small launch, I'm also wondering, like, is it worth getting, like a shipping label printer? Because also you could print stickers, which would be fun to put on packaging as well. So that would be like a nice little touch. I'm all for minimalism, but at the same time, I think having the little extras are also just like a nice little, nice little thought, right? Some people appreciate it, some people don't even notice it. But if I was a consumer and I bought something and I saw, like, it's those little things that get me and I notice them. So, maybe not everybody will, but I would want to put something out that really represents what I would want to see out in the world. That's the process. And we finally got the design set, point, and straight, which is great because it was not an easy easy time to get to this point. I had very many iterations of these cherry earrings to start, so I'm glad that I was able to finally get there. It's been fun sort of documenting the process of doing these things and getting into the habit of sort of sharing myself and what I'm doing to the world. It's a learning curve. She's a learning curve for sure. And yeah, it's just been really fun to film these videos and sort of share the process of what's going on, because personally, I love to watch small business process videos. It's what I like to watch whenever I'm crafting or I'm working on something. I don't really need to be watching something specifically. I could just listen to whoever I'm watching and just have them going on in the back as I'm listening and doing whatever I'm doing. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. This is literally the first part of it. This is literally part one, so I hope you've been enjoying the one part so far. Many, many more iterations to come, and I'm excited to connect more with the community and build some really cool things. So share your thoughts in the comments below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!